doctors are to blame?
Well, I don't feel doctors are to blame, and I have to say I've never really witnessed the deference to the medical profession within the health service. And I mean, from ourselves,
people tend to call them doctor, for instance. That's deference.
It's also a job description and a title.
You don't call plumbers plumber, or don't call bus driver bus driver. It's a status symbol. And it's part of the deference.
I don't necessarily, as I say, when it comes to the management of the health service, and I suppose we would have very big concerns about the service plan that was published today. And we would have very big concerns that frontline staff, of which doctors are an important component, but we're not the only component of frontline staff. I mean, we also have our nursing colleagues and our allied health professional colleagues, and in my own profession of psychiatry, we would obviously then be talking about psychology, occupational therapy, social work, that the frontline staff who are delivering the care directly to patients are not being consulted when these budgets are being calculated and worked out. We would have severe concerns about the planned savings of 600 million at a time when the population has grown by 8% since 2006. The population of over 65, the over 65 population, which has been a huge success of the medical service
people are paid
within
too
Ireland.
much. That's a huge factor.
That
you people are paid far too much.
If you look at the remuneration for doctors within the Irish health service and you compare it to the countries in which we recruit doctors, so we're talking about the English-speaking medical countries, our pay is actually probably at the lower end of that spectrum.
We don't care about what happens elsewhere. And compared to other people here, you people are paid far too much.
Well, the difficulty is that we are trying to recruit. The Irish health service has relied on a long period of time, obviously, to our own graduates, and we've also relied on the NCHD population as the ability to recruit doctors from abroad to be able to keep our hospitals going. And if you look at the moment, we have significant difficulties in recruiting doctors to this country.
That's because we spend fortunes on educating people to become, as you call it, doctors in this country, and then they go off to America or go off to Australia or something. They earn even more money than they would earn here. And some of them come back and demand they be paid even super wages.
Well, I think, to be fair, as I said, the Irish Health Service, for the structures of our undergraduate and the numbers that we graduate, we've always relied on actually importing or recruiting doctors who have graduated abroad.
Do you think that there's a problem with doctors being paid too much?
I personally don't think that is a problem, and I think it needs to be looked at.
Any of us who goes in to see a hospital consultant, we go in there for 5, 10 minutes, 15 minutes, we're charged €180. It's incredible. Why is it? Of course you're paid too much. It's completely out of control. It's like some people in the legal profession and accountants and other professionals. I mean, it's rip-off.
Is that within? I mean, the private sector is a different entity to what we're discussing today on the public sector and the public salary.
Oh, no, it's the same thing, because we have a lot of hospital consultants who spend most of their time in their private practices and drop in and out now and again to their public practice, don't give enough time, don't do the kind of work that Roshan was just talking about, because they're too busy with their private practice making a fortune.
I have to say that has not been my experience of working within the health service, and certainly if you look at the contracts that are being offered now to new recruitment of hospital consultants, which are largely what is known as a Category A or Category B contract, which has either no private practice or very limited private practice within the site in which they work, that is not an issue for the consultant intake that is happening at the moment. I do feel that is not certainly that's not my experience of working both as a hospital consultant and my experience of working with hospital consultants through the 13 years that I've worked in the Irish Health Service. And I've seen that hospital consultants, along with their general practice colleagues and their junior doctor hospital colleagues, have provided great service over many hours every day and are trying to provide a service of high quality and safety to their patients. I'll tell you a very personal example.
I had a medical check-up a few years ago, and somebody said there was something wrong with my heart. I got to see a specialist. I went into the specialist, and he was standing up, and I remained standing up, and he said, "I'm sorry, your chart was misread. There's nothing wrong with you." And I said, "All right," and I left, and he went out and he whispered to his secretary, "Half price," and I had to pay only €80. I give him my word. See, this is, and anybody, you know, in company tell this story, somebody else trumps that story. It's another story of rip-off in the health service. And there's a huge problem with doctors.
As I say, I feel that, you know, in order to be able to provide the safe patient service that we are trying to provide at the moment, that I feel that, you know, the medical profession and doctors are an essential part of providing the healthcare to the people in the country. Now, we're not the only part, and we are part of, as I say, the multidisciplinary team.
Part.
I can't comment for your own personal experience with an individual.
I think that's changing though, Vincent.
Billy,